People. Que pasa, sa pase, what they do. Welcome to Crime Time News, where the difference is in the meds. Call it news with a buzz. Do you realize that a lot of women are involved deeply into crime just as much as the men? As a matter of fact, a lot of the men that do crime, it is because they are trying to keep up with these ladies. They are trying to supply these ladies with their wants and needs. A lot of times, these persons are gold diggers. A lot of these women, they don't like to work. However, they always want the finer things in life. People, that is a recipe for crime. A lot of times, a lot of these ladies, they just like the clout. Sometimes them just want bad man in a them hole. Sometimes they are a mastermind of the whole crime syndicate, meaning that these men, criminals, use them to lure people. They facilitate the FUCKRY. They are just as involved in the conspiracy of criminality. Now the other day, a poor lost his life. It is said that he went to drop off a young lady at some street in a Maxfield. Now, the last time that I checked, that area is considered a garrison, volatile community. You do not want to be there unless, of course, you live there, especially at 3 a.m. in the morning. This poor Mr. Ricardo Jarrett, he was found there dropping off a young lady. Of course, it did not go according to plan. They might have went out, have a good time, 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, drop off some woman, 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning, sorry. That means that when you go out, when you have a good time, whatever that is, you're making the drop off. However, the drop off was not as successful. It was intercepted by some thugs that it said step out upon them with some sorts of high-powered rifle, blaze up some can, take away the tool from the officer. The lady or the next person in the vehicle was okay. Persons are wondering, persons are pondering. Did this lady set him up, or it was just a random act in a place that hot? So therefore, anything can pop off. Now, people, there's a picture that is circulating over social media. That's the picture on the screen right here. It is said that this lady is involved somewhat in a law enforcement. She could be a popo. This was a lady that it is said that he, Mr. Ricardo, was dropping off. Based on what is going on out there or circulating out there on the street, people, word on the streets is not always 100%. And you know I don't use allege. However, I am going to use allege in this instance. It is said that this young lady is involved with a don from East Kingston. The name was not given, so therefore that leads to some sorts of suspicion. It is said that she, as a person involved in law enforcement, would usually target the opposition of her boyfriend, who is allegedly the don from East Kingston. However, those persons then made some sort of report to the popo. It is said that that don was picked up, his phone was searched, and there was information with that lady in the picture, allegedly. Damning information. So therefore, she might have been a corrupted law enforcement official. Did not validate or verify it. However, the source that I got it from, let me say they are involved in law enforcement. Now, people, first thing first. You as a popo, even if you're from the area, that means that you're born and bred there. After you join the popo force, I am speaking about this lady that allegedly is involved. I do not think that it should be a place that you should feel safe as an officer because of the contamination of criminals in that vicinity. So therefore, I have to question the fact that she still lived there. And like I said before, definitely question the fact that this man dropped off that lady in a some sort of street of Maxfield. Everywhere in that vicinity, I would not consider uptown. It is not Norbrook or Cherry Garden. So therefore, 3 o'clock in the morning, anything can pop off on people. It actually did. So people, that was one instance. This man should have known that, listen, this lady involved with some sorts of done. So therefore, she is maybe the type of person, maybe in some sorts of law enforcement individual, should not be around. Maybe it might be risky for me. Maybe if the Dan find out, I could actually lose my life. So therefore, it is detrimental or would be detrimental to my health. This is my disclaimer. Don't know if that is the motive that the Don found out and sent his people to go look for the man that is allegedly taking away my woman, or this was just some sort of random act. He was in the wrong place or the wrong time. Me don't know what is the motive. But people, we know that in these garrison, people talk. So therefore, if people are say this car are coming, them are gonna know. People are gonna say, then hold on a minute, who are what the browning, who the man in the vehicle, and then people are gonna say, they don't know say it's an officer, work down here, sir, work down there, sir. Sooner or later, Chattimouth was going to tell the Don, we know that bad news and burning news, it spreads fast, just like wildfire. Moral of the story. High-risk women, like them say, ghetto girls have the wickedest slam. So therefore, it seems as if even though some men know that, listen, the area hot, this lady have a hot man, this lady is involved with all sorts of stuff, criminality, they still take the risk. And I am just assuming that he must have known, meaning Mr. Ricardo, that this lady have a checkered presence and past. Because the information that I got was from a group that involves persons from law enforcement. So therefore, if they know, that means I am assuming that he must have also known. However, what they say, hindsight is 2020. So therefore, maybe persons learn after the fact. There's a reason why the wise men that are out there make these proverbs and these saying. Do not be penny wise and pound foolish. I am going to remix that. Do not be PUMs wise and then be DEAD foolish. Is it worth the risk? 15 minutes of joy only to get eternal nap? I do not think so. Remember, I said that this theme, the theme of this video, is high-risk women and why men take the risks. A lot of these women are the reason that a lot of these men get involved in all sorts of criminality. Get involved and then end up losing their life. However, if you are 18-year-old, whatever choice that you make, you are to be held accountable for your own choice. Within 24 hours, that man lost his life. There's also a taxi man. That taxi man's name is Javon Dickinson. Javon Dickinson is from Lime Hall. Lime Hall is in St. Anne. Javon is a father of one. He just recently have a little girl, a baby. He plies the taxi routes, good youth, respectable, hard-working. Nobody has anything bad to say about him. However, here's the deal. Javon have a baby mother. However, Javon also has a side chick. Javon has been missing for a little while, a couple of days. When they've been calling the side chick now answer. It was only when the family made some posts on social media, she eventually ran to the power station and gave a statement. She never answered the family before that. Don't you find it very suspicious? But people, again, like I said, don't know what is the intrigue with these persons, with the high-risk PUMs. Like them say, ghetto girls have the wickedest slam. Mad woman have the best PUMS. So therefore, if it is not a close DEATH experience, it is not worth it. So it seems. So people, those are two instances that I just gave you. I am going to speak about an incident that occurred in Hertfordshire also. A young man was there, pull up in the parking lot, Burger King, near Pavilion Mall. He was approached by two young lady, nice looking young lady, dress up, sexy, perky, B-R-E-A-S-T-A-S-S, A-S-S like Tadao. They approach him looking very nice. Some sorts of conversation was held. Some sorts of promises of pleasure was exchanged for cash. He fell in the trap. However, what he did not realize, the trap was bigger than he thought. He would learn the hard way. Jump in a car, him and the two girl them, all sorts of touchy-feely. Drive go round one corner, forget things on and popping, get him groove like Stella. However, just before that could occur, there was a next vehicle. Pull up, was it coincidental? Two other man with tool, jack him up, jam him up, can him up. He eventually disarm one of them and the people them run, including the two women. However, the case would then go to courts. When that case went to courts, the two women were there as suspect. However, because of shame, because him have him girlfriend, because him have him family, he pretty much made the case flop. He did not want to go on. People, this happened many times in Jamaica, so you have to be very careful. People, like me say, the theme of this video, women, high-risk women, that seems to be the hit, the intrigue of men in Jamaica. Don't know what it is. Is it the power of the PUMs? Or these men just lose their mind when women put it on them a specific sort of way? Because we would think that in the case of Ricardo Jarrett, he is an officer, so therefore somewhere at one time at training school, pan the job, when him go, I'm office, they must tell them, say, listen, be very careful when you go out there on the streets. Have your eyes wide open, not wide shut. Keep your eye in at the back of your head. Always expect the unexpected. But people, it seems as if when these women put it on them, they lose all rational. They lose all sorts of sense. They become very complacent. They become relaxed. And them forget, say, listen, this is Jamaica, one of the most deadliest places on planet Earth. I am an officer that is not like, especially in the garrison, we live like puss and dog. If I have this chick in my car and she is allegedly the lover of a Don, that means that my life is at risk automatically. I am in a garrison, 3 a.m. in the morning, high risk once again. However, he did it, and he is not the first one. We have seen instances as it pertains to JCF, JDF officers that are caught in the same predicament. And people, like I've always said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. A wise man learns from his mistake. A wiser man learns from the mistakes of others. It is written in the star. It is on the notice board. They have gotten several examples. However, they continue to do the same thing because it seems as if these high-risk PUMs cloud their judgment, make them lose all rational and reality. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.